Good afternoon. This is the former RFC Maki currently flying in IL-2 flying circus as J5 or Yasta 5 Kramer. I recently acquired a TrackIR head tracking unit. That's a little device that sits on your hat, makes you look ridiculous, but actually turns your head movements, in real life head movements, into in-game look around. And I've been messing with it the past couple of weeks, trying to get that look around to be a bit smooth. I'm trying to find the right settings that keep me from getting seasick, allow me to see what I'm looking at, and to be able to hopefully have a little bit more flexibility in looking around than simply using the thumb hat, which is what I was using in War Thunder and up until recently in IL-2. In order to kind of test this out, and also I think I'm having a little bit of a rough time in online games. Currently, the IL-2 community is involved in a really awesome campaign played across 4 hours at a time on each Saturday of the month September. It's called Black September, and I had a little bit of a rough time the last game. I got 3 deaths and 0 kills, so I thought I would, each time I found myself in a situation where I was outnumbered and at an altitude disadvantage against opponents. So in the meantime, I've been practicing offline, setting myself up in situations where I am outnumbered and at a disadvantage. So this is a current offline quick battle, where it was me starting at an altitude of 2,000 meters going up against a pair of Sopwith camels who had about a 500 meter altitude advantage on me, and I was trying to avoid getting shot and also trying to avoid see if I can't reverse some of these attacks, while at the same time adjusting the TrackIR so that I've got the right amount of smoothness. You can see here that really quick look around had the ability to just kind of help me spot behind me. There's still a little bit of quirkiness to it, but I really do think you can see that guy went down there. You can see that my gunnery, I think, has improved a little bit. Now in this weird situation, I have no idea what happened to that other camel. He passed by me, and then I went after the second camel earlier in the engagement, and this one just seems to have disappeared. Here I am testing out. I've actually programmed the thumb header. I've got the thumb head programmed to 4 default looks, up, left, right, and back, which is actually a very quick way to get a smooth view on either of those directions, smoother than zooming in, and that seems to work pretty well. At this point, I thought, well, I've still got a good half of my ammo available, so I thought I would go ahead and see if I could spot. There's usually in this little quick battles, there's usually a balloon hanging out nearby, and somehow in the games my panic starts to set in. I get a little shaky, my heart's racing, I'm trying to stay calm, and I wind up getting hits on balloons, but I can never bring them down in the first pass. So I figured, here's my chance to go ahead and if I can get up to that balloon, go ahead and see if I can't get it in one pass, see if this TrackIR helps me out. And so really, again, here you can see it's actually very easy. I adjusted my settings since the last video. There you can see this, the balloon up ahead of me. You can see I've adjusted my settings since the last video, and it actually the sort of left and right, and actually there's the lean right there. You can actually tilt your head sideways and look around your cockpit a little bit, but I've got everything set up kind of much more smoothly, and it seems a little bit more natural to me. In fact, I'm even partly tempted to go ahead and turn down the speed of the tracking a little bit to make it a little bit more smooth and a little bit less jerky. Some of it still seems pretty frantic. Like, there you go, that's a quick view to the back, but it still feels a little bit jerky, so I'm still constantly tweaking, and I have a feeling that probably, like most people who fly these games, we are probably almost always tweaking our settings from game to game or from practice to practice. But I've got my head dialed in, centered on the night scope. You can see I've got I can sort of move my head around pretty easily, and I also have a zoom set up on my throttle, which lets me zoom my head in and out. There I'm probably about 500-600 meters away, and a little bit beyond what I have my convergence set at, but I got plenty of ammo, so I'm not too worried about wasting it at this point. I'm trying to keep my flying steady. The thing about the Albatross is it has a constant desire to climb, so you're always pushing on the stick a little bit. Like, the natural and neutral position of the stick is always pushed slightly forward. I'm probably overheating my guns a bit, but there we go. Flamed the balloon in one approach. You can see I love it watching the balloon observation crew jump out. Another thing I've been practicing on a little bit is throwing hard rudder and side slipping down to the ground on a quick drop. So you can see, take a look at the guys falling below me, and here I'm going to nose down, throw that hard rudder to the side, and go ahead and use my flight stick to adjust so that I'm slowing my CPC down. You notice the RPMs are still around 1400, just over 1400, so not getting up in the danger zone. Then I could smooth out here, and the idea was I thought, well, I got a little bit more ammo. I definitely need some practice with my ground targeting, so I went ahead and gave it a quick look around to see if I could find the. There's usually 4 bunkers that are there to protect cannon, that are there to protect the balloon, and so I figured I would jump in and see if I couldn't get smooth, see if the head tracking system makes it easier. I don't know if it does or not, but it makes it easier for me to do some attacking ground targets. There you can see they're starting to fire a little bit, so that lit up a tad. This is definitely not a one-pass job. I'm bad at this, but if I can get a few hits in. You can see there the crew begins to run away, and hopefully you'll notice something else here. I've spotted this when I'm zoomed in and holding steady on ground targets. I'm doing something that causes that look, the visual to jump around to the side. I have a suspicion that I have a tendency to lean into the screen when I'm doing those kinds of attacks, and probably leaning in too much makes that head tracking software, the TrackIR software, probably makes it lose my head a little bit, so it gives me a little side look. For a little while I thought maybe I was accidentally hitting another button while I was zooming in, but I clearly wasn't doing that because I was practicing it this time to avoid touching anything but the trigger. So I don't know what's causing that exactly, but I suspect maybe leaning in. I don't know if I can avoid a lot. What I love about the TrackIR is it's so natural, it's intuitive, where you're looking and how it tracks where you're looking and how you can spot things pretty easy. And I think I do have a tendency to zoom in with my head, lean into my head. There we go. There's a ground target. I got one an awful ground shooting, but that's going to count as one. And even though I kind of flew on for a few extra minutes, never saw that other camel, and actually flew home after this, flew back to one of the bases. I ended the video around here, but at least I think this is actually getting somewhere successful with head tracking, and I'm feeling a lot more confident to head online with this set of head tracking settings here. Thank you all for listening. Look forward to meeting you in the skies. Cheers. Cheers from Yasta 5 Kramer. Let's enjoy this observation. Pilots landing safely on the ground. I didn't kill them. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.